Hey everybody, it's your girl DJ with Plan for Keeps Dating app and podcast. And today I have a special guest for Dating Chronicles where you come and you tell a funny or crazy dating stories. Nikki, she is the owner of Tokyo Tours where she takes individuals and companies all around Japan and show them the history, the sights. And today she is here to give us a funny or crazy dating story. How are you today, Nikki?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for making the time to come on. Your form was definitely very interesting. I'm excited to dig in further into your stories and also just kind of dig further into just kind of what you do, your life. I'm fascinated with Japan because I'm obsessed with anime. So
Oh, that's good.
I
Yeah.
I may be someone who would want to purchase your services because I do want to visit Japan one
Oh,
day.
yeah, you totally should. I mean, the yen is insanely low right now, so you totally should take advantage of that.
Yeah, I need to look into that for real. That's something I definitely want to do, and I would love to learn more of the history and see the sites. I have a
It's
couple of
so
friends
cheap
who
right
went,
now.
and yeah, they had
Yeah.
an amazing time. So,
Oh,
I'll talk to you more about that offline.
yeah,
Um,
I'd love
but
to.
to dig a little bit more into you and kind of your history, I like to get to know all of my guests. You
Yeah,
tell us a little bit more about your company. Tell us a little bit more about you, kind of your relationship
okay,
status, things like
yeah.
that.
I'm the founder of Tokyo Tours. I started that back in 2013 when I was living in Tokyo with my then husband. So with Tokyo Tours, basically, we offer guided tours in Japan. So we do only bespoke tours, which means that if you don't exactly know what you want, we can help you to create an itinerary for the day, or we can offer preset itinerary. But basically our strength lies in the fact that we're very flexible and we like to really get to know our clients and what they're interested in and match them up with the right guide, because I have a network of 75 guides spread out over Japan who work for me. So when we get a request for a tour, we like to match the client up with the right guide, not only in terms of language, because we offer English, French, German, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian, but also in terms of your interests. For instance, you said that you are very much into anime. So if we would do a tour with you, we would like to focus on that and to understand what kind of anime you're into and try to show you sites in Tokyo, for instance, that are significant to those characters or to those animes that you like, or show you the sites that were inspired when creating certain animes or things like that. So you really get everything you were looking for.
That is dope. Okay, now I want to dig into a little bit of the business side and learn as why did you decide to come up with this concept? I know you said you were living in Tokyo with your I'm believing ex-husband now.
Yes.
So what motivated you to start this?
Well, it was actually a friend of mine that kind of dared me to do it.
Ooh.
So, my then husband is Japanese, and we were living together for 5 years in Amsterdam. And he had grown up in Amsterdam, so lived here all his life basically. So he proposed to me at one point, like, oh, I would really love to live like a Japanese person in Japan. How would you feel about that? We'll just go for 2, 3 years and then we'll go back just for the experience. So I didn't really give it much thought, which in hindsight I should have. So I said, yeah, sure. See if you can find a job. I'll come with you. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll be a housewife for 2, 3 years and then we'll go back anyway. So it's fine.
No.
So I went there and I was like, yeah, my English is not too bad. I can always become an English teacher or whatever, or work at the embassy. So I came there, and everywhere they were like, okay, so you're fluent in Japanese, right? And I'd be like, not exactly. And they're like, yeah, we'll call you. And then you never hear from them again.
Oh my god, that had to been a nightmare.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly. So,
god. Okay.
yeah, so I was just, okay, I'll just learn this language. And then after 6 months, I'll get a job and it'll be fine. So I went to school from 9 to 5 for 2 years. And I still wasn't fluent in Japanese.
Oh.
I mean, I've been studying it since I came to Japan in 2011, and I still feel I'm not fluent. But in any case, so I was complaining to this friend, and I said, "Oh, I hate Japan. I can't even find a job. I need to beg my husband, can I please have some money so I can buy
Oh,
groceries for us? Please,
yeah,
please, please."
that's a nightmare. Oh my god.
So yeah, as an independent woman, always been taught to take care of my own shit, have my own money, have my own job, have my own everything. Suddenly, I'm a housewife. I need to beg for money. I can't get a job to save my life, not even in a Starbucks or anything like that,
Wow,
because they're like, "Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, fluent in Japanese." So this friend of mine said, "Oh, why don't you start doing guided tours? I think you'd be really good at that." And I was like, "I don't know anything about tourism. My background is in marketing. What? How am I going to start a tour guide business? I can't even find a job." Like, she said, "Oh, you just create a website and have an email address, and then everything will fall into place." So basically,
Wow.
to show her like that's not how things work. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'll be able to say, "See, I told you so. It wouldn't work." But after 1 week, I already received my first email from people like, "Oh, I'd love to do a tour with you." And then I was like, "Oh my god, I was so not expecting that. I didn't prepare anything." So at first, when I was showing people around town, they would be like, "Oh, I see a sign over there. Let's walk over." And I'd be like, "No, let's not. Let's come look over here at this bird." And I would just, yes, and the Shogun, and then 1873, and yes, of course. So it wouldn't all make sense, but I mean, I thought no one's going to check the dates. No one's going to be like, okay, let me look that up if that is true. I mean, I must admit, I did have one time a client that had an actual notebook and was making notes while I was giving the tour. But other than that, I've never really had anyone that would be so invested in what I was saying. And of course, with the years, I would build on my knowledge, and I would actually know all the dates and all the information. But in the beginning, I was like, "Oh yes, that is a very good point. I will get back to that later." Um,
Oh my gosh. That
yeah,
definitely shows that the gurus are correct. Like, just jump in and just kinda just do it. Like,
yeah, just dig in, and I mean, just make mistakes and get down and dirty and make a mess of yourself, and it will all be fine. And basically, people are just there to have a good time. They're not there to have a history lesson. So
yeah.
as long as you can be entertaining and show them a good time, it's all gonna be fine. So
Got you. Okay. I'm gonna ask you one question, and then we're gonna move into your dating story. So,
yeah.
when you think about how you just kinda jumped in and just did the first tour,
Hmm.
even when you think about, like, when you, decided just to go to Japan with your, ex-husband,
Hmm.
how do you feel it kinda relates to, like, how you connect with people or get into, like, new relationships? I'm curious, is there a correlation there?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm very guarded, so I don't let people in very easily.
Okay.
But once I feel like, oh, there's a connection, or I like this person, then I go all in, and I'm like, yeah, let's go crazy. It's fine. Let's see what happens. And I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and then we'll figure it out. So it's gonna be fine. But yeah, generally speaking, at first I might be a bit guarded and just I don't let people in very easily.
Got you. Okay, okay. I was just curious, like, does that all kinda relate? Because I know I'm the type to kinda just jump in myself, but I was kind of the same with my love life as well. I would just jump in if I liked
Yeah,
them
I mean, it
enough.
depends on the circumstances. Like the last boyfriend I had, um, we went on like 2 dates, and then he's Colombian,
Okay.
and he said, you know, next month I'm going to Colombia. I'm going to be gone for like 3 months, I think. But if you want, you can come and visit me in Colombia, and I'm going to have a holiday there as well and be traveling for like 2 weeks. So if you want, you can come over and see me in Colombia, and we can just hang out together. So he thought either she's not going to have money, or she's not going to have time, or both. So this is a very easy offer I can make, because I mean, 98% chance she's going to say no. Or she's going to be like, I don't even know you, so I'm not going to do it. But me, as a business owner and being able to work online, was like, okay, so what date are we talking about? And he would be like, the January 4th. Why? I'm like, oh, no, nothing. So I was like, okay, so I'm coming. And he was like, what? You're coming? I'm like, yeah, why not? And I'm like, holiday in Colombia. Who would say no? He's like, everyone except you, apparently.
Oh,
Yeah, of course, why not? It sounds like fun. Let's do it.
wow. So you went
So
ahead and you went, or did you
yeah,
got?
yeah. I went to Colombia, and actually, the days right before I was supposed to leave, he had gotten like shit faced drunk and crawled in a ditch somewhere. So the few days before my departure, he wasn't even responding to my text. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to Colombia. I'm not even sure if he's going to be there or not. I just booked this ticket. I don't have anything at all. So while I was in the plane, I was like, okay, let's get the Wi-Fi access. Let's get at least a hotel room for the first night in case
Oh,
this thing
wow.
falls through. And then fortunately he was there at the airport, and he was like, yeah, of course, I said I was gonna be here, right? I'm like, well, I
Oh,
mean, I didn't
wow.
hear from you anymore, so I wasn't quite sure. He's like, yeah, of course, you should have trusted me. But in any case, yeah, it was really wild. I was there for 2 weeks, and then he has a lot of friends in the music industry,
Okay.
so he would get us all these tickets to VIP, backstage, all that stuff.
Oh.
And there was one party the night before I was supposed to go back to Amsterdam, and it was supposed to be finished at 9 p.m. So
Mhm.
he was like, I had to be at the airport like 6 a.m. in the morning. And he was like, yeah, that's pretty safe. I mean, ends at 9. So then we have plenty of time for you to pack your bag and get ready and go to the airport. And then after the party, his friends were like, ah, it's after party, let's go. And then at that party, they were like, ah, house party, let's go.
Oh, wow.
And then it was like, I'm not gonna make my flight. What do you think? He's like, no, I don't think so either. So he's like, oh, this is fine. You can stay as long as you want. And then 2 months later, he was like, so are you planning to leave at some point, or is this something we need to discuss? Or I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm having
Yeah.
fun. You're not. It's like, yeah, no, I need to spend some time with my family as well. Like, I like to have you here, but like, okay, say no more. I'm going.
It took him 2 months to tell you that, though?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. So are you guys still talking? You still friends, or that's done?
Well, yeah, no, the relationship did not work out, unfortunately. But I did get him to come to Japan. And then when we were in Japan, we were just talking, and I was talking about my work, and then we came up with a new business idea called Elite Travel Experiences. So I started a new business with him that I'm about to launch in the next couple of days, and it's called Elite Travel Experiences, because I noticed that a lot of my clients, even though the trip has all been planned by the travel agents, it's still difficult for them to understand, like, oh, there's all these different uh, train companies,
Oh
and they have
yeah.
different kind of tickets and different entrances to the station. You can't go from one entrance and then go to the next line. It's quite complicated to get from A to B, and to exchange the vouchers, and to book all the train tickets and all that stuff. So um, I was already working with partner in Japan who offers private drivers. And then we came up with this idea, why not do the whole uh, trip
Ocean.
with drivers, and
Yeah.
just create small groups up to 6 people, and then they can travel together, and you don't have like 20 other people there. You're more flexible. You can still change your itinerary and be like, oh, why don't we stay here a bit longer? Or why don't we go there instead? And then you don't have to bother with train tickets and all that stuff. So yeah, we
Wow.
just we're going to launch in a few days. www.elitetravelxp.com.
Let's add that plug into the links too. We'll make sure to
Yeah,
add that. Oh
yeah.
wow.
So at least I did get something out of the relationship.
Yeah. So no, that is dope because you know to be able to enter into and I don't know, it sounds like you probably have other stories similar to this, maybe not like a business, but to be able to go into a dating situation where at first you're thinking maybe it's gonna be romantic, and then you're open to it being something else, whether it's
Mhm,
friendship, business partners. I think that is dope, realizing that a person is not necessarily for you in that capacity,
mhm.
but they could be a great person in another capacity in your life. So I think that's amazing and needs to be heard of more, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of emotional maturity to let
Mhm.
go of that vision you had of someone, and that potential that you saw in them, and to understand, like, okay, this is not going to work, but there are still certain qualities that I really like in this guy, and he has certain things that I lack. And I think he could really help me with this idea I have to move it forward. I mean, that the same with my other business partner for Tokyo tours. She is the complete opposite of me. I'm more of a big picture and more of a creative person, whereas she is like nitty gritty, and everything has to be straight, and everything has to
Yeah.
be in a spreadsheet, and everything has to be worked out in advance. And she always worries about things 10 years from now, and then I need to get her off the ledge and be like, can we please focus on what's in front of us?
Right.
Not 10 years, like that's not even happening. Just forget about it, just now, okay?
Now, I'm a big picture person too, I can relate.
Yeah, and vice versa as well. I will have this great idea, like, oh, we need to do this, and like, oh, let's do it. And she's like, have you thought everything through? Do you have a worked out business plan? Uh, get on that first, and do a proper cost analysis, and then we'll talk. I'm like, okay, fine, you have a point.
Got you. Okay. Now, as far as just now thinking of another question pop up in my head. So now thinking of just like you said, you need that emotional maturity in order to be able to kind of let go of that original vision of being in that relationship. Now you're realizing that this person isn't going to be a fit for that. Were you always that way?
Oh no.
T- t-
No, no, no. I mean, I'm anxious attacher, so
oh, okay.
it took me 16 years to let go of my ex-husband, even though he was cheating on me with several women.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, that was one of my biggest hurdles to overcome, to see when things are not working, because I'm a fighter. I don't like to give up. I don't
yeah.
like to say that I lost. and I'm always looking for another way. Like if I can't do it this way, then maybe this way, or maybe this, or maybe that. And I really had to learn, like, sometimes you just need to give up and just say this isn't working, and to realize, like, no, there's not another 800 things you can try. This time you should just shut the hell up and just stop what you're doing and pour time and energy into things that will work or that have a better chance of working, instead of yanking on a dead horse, as we say in Dutch.
Got you. Me very similar, but I'm more on the fear. I'm a fearful avoidant. But if I really like somebody, then I lean more towards anxious, right? So also me not wanting to give up, not wanting to let go of all of the time that I spent with this person, feeling like the time was wasted if I do let it go.
Exactly.
But then realizing once I did let that thing go, it gave room for something else to come in that was so much better, whether it was a business, another person. Because after I let this person go that I thought was going to be everything, somebody else slid into that space. They weren't my forever person, but they definitely were better. And it just helped me just physically see that, okay, there's better out there. I can have better. And then leaving just once I left that person, leaving space again. Somebody else comes in and they're better than that version. So I'm seeing that and I'm getting better and better. I've taken a break, but I'm also getting better and better with who I'm choosing to fill that space as I learn more about myself and setting boundaries, because boundaries was a huge one for me.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, my boundary. I had none. I didn't know where I ended, where I began. So people treated me that way and
Yeah.
took whatever they could. So yeah, I had to learn in my
Yeah,
own
me
way.
too. Like always.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
So
I don't have gears. I go from 0 to 100. So people are like, oh, wow, what are you doing? I'm like, what? That's normal, right? Like,
yeah,
no.
you yeah, and then you learn the hard way. Not really, no. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My
So yeah,
bad.
right. Definitely had to learn. So no, I definitely get you there. So let's dive into one of your funny, crazy, or lesson learned data stories. You put a couple on the form. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna let you choose which one you want to kind of run through, just kind of how you met them, the story, and how it ended.
Mm-hmm. Mm, well, there was this one guy, and I went to a colleague's birthday party. I was working at McDonald's at the time as a student job, and I went to his birthday party. He was my manager, and after the party, my manager said, "Oh yeah, there was this friend who saw you at the party. You didn't really talk to him, but he was very impressed with you. He really liked you. He wanted to go out with you." I was like, "No, I don't want to. Please don't set me up." And then he kept insisting. So every time I saw him, I was like, "Are you ready to go on a date? What about the date? Can I say yes to the guy?" So finally, in the end, I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll do it." So I went on the date. I didn't know who this guy was, and I met him in a restaurant. So I was like, oh, okay, let's talk. Like, okay, what are your hobbies? And he was like, oh yeah, I really like ice hockey. I used to play semi-professional, but then I got an injury and I had to stop. I'm like, oh, okay. So what happened? Yeah, I got a puck against the mouth, and now I'm wearing dentures. You want to see? And then he was about to take them out. I was like, no, 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 no. Please don't take out your dentures. Okay, different subject. What do you do for a living? And he was like, oh, yeah, yeah, I make boxes. I'm like, boxes? What kind of boxes? And he was like, oh, yeah, they're actually more like coffins. I'm like, excuse me? Like, yeah, when you die and then you go into the coffin, and I make those. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's like, yeah, and then during break, I'll just have a nap in one of them, and it's really quite a relaxed job, except when you have to make a tiny one, then it's kind of weird. But other than that, it's a great job. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Was he being funny? Like,
Yeah, I'm like, ooh. Okay. And then after the date, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling kind of tired. Oh, I'll see how late it is. Let's go home. And it was fun meeting you. And then after that, he kept calling me. And he was like, I have to see you again. I said, no, I don't want to. And he kept insisting. And he said, oh, actually, I bought a present for you. And I really need to give it to you.
Oh wow.
It's specifically for you. I couldn't give it to anyone else. I'm like, okay, well, I need a lift from this place to that place. So if you want, you can be like my taxi driver, but don't get any ideas. You're not coming up. All you'll be doing is driving me from A to B, and we can talk during the ride. If that's okay with you, then fine. He said, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm like, okay, fine. If you want to be my taxi driver, I won't say no. So he drove me, and then at the end, when we were in front of my building, he was like, "Oh, okay, so here's the gift. Here you are." I was like, "Okay, fine, thanks, bye." He's like, "You're not going to open it here?" I'm like, "No, I'll wait until I get inside." He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I was expecting you." I was like, I'll let you know how I feel about it later. I need to go. I'm in a hurry." So I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." So I opened the gift, and it was a mug with his face on it.
What?
Yeah.
No, he didn't blow you up for that.
Yeah, so I had a housemate at the time, a girl, and so I put the mug in the kitchen cabinet, and the next day she was like, "Oh, what the hell is this?" I said, "Oh yeah, this guy," and I explained the whole thing. And I was using it for like a year or something, and then my birthday rolled around, and she was like, "Okay, I bought you this mug, and you can have it, but you need to get rid of the other mug because I hate that every time I open the cabinet, he is staring right at me." I'm like, okay, okay, but we need to get rid of it ritually. So let's do that. So I was living on a second floor apartment, and I was like, okay, let's throw it from the balcony. So I threw the mug from the balcony, but there was grass, and it just kind of bumped on the grass, and it was still there and not smashed at all. So I was feeling lazy. I was like, I don't want to go down and fetch it. I'll just throw it out tomorrow. So the next morning, I opened up the curtains, and the mug was just gone. I was like, oh my God, someone took the mug. So I'm sure he's still in someone's kitchen cabinet, smiling at them
Wow.
benevolently.
Yo, so how? So let me back up a little bit. How did it end? Did you end up ghosting him? Did you end up telling him like, nah, this isn't gonna work? Did he finally just give up? Like,
Yeah, he just gave up after a while. I told the story about the mug to my manager because he kept asking me, why don't you want to see this guy again? And then I told him about the mug incident. It was like, okay, I get it now.
yeah, he was kind of weird. Like, and then he didn't insist that he was joking at all. Like during the date, he just was with a straight face saying that he liked
Yeah.
to lay and call. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy work. Okay. Um, so he eventually gave up. What
Yeah.
did you learn about that?
Well, yeah, you never know what to expect. I mean,
Do you still let people hook you up?
no, not definitely not. No, that's not happening at all. Like, no.
Ah,
And also to like, yeah, talk to a guy first, like see if you have some kind of rapport or something. I don't really believe in coffee dates
got
because
you.
I feel how can you get chemistry over coffee?
So what?
Uh,
Okay, so I'll let you consider. I was going to ask you. So what dates do you think is appropriate for a first date?
well, I do spend a lot of time getting to know someone online via WhatsApp or something like that.
Okay.
So I feel that you need to be able to have an interesting conversation with someone via text and see like what kind of vocabulary are they using. Can they talk about more than just sports, work,
Mm.
and fishing or something? Um, do you have some interests in common at least, or does he at least know what's going on in the world? Uh, and if that goes well, then yeah, go for some drinks or something. I have
Okay.
this rooftop bar that I really like that's close to my house. So
Gotcha.
the waiters, they know me and they know my drink. And like, oh yeah, skinny bitch, right? I said, that's right, that's me. So yeah, so I keep coming with a different guy every time. So I'm sure the guys that work there are like, oh, there she goes again. Like,
That's
so that one is not there to stay.
Well, we'll see. I think playing a numbers game is very important. So let me ask you this: when you think about when you the version of you where you married your husband to where you're at now, you're dating different people, you're experiencing guys in different countries, different cultures.
Mm.
Um, how would you describe the version you were in your marriage versus now?
Well, when I met my ex, I was 29. And up until then, I never met anyone that would want anything beyond the friends with benefits kind of situation, except for my high school sweetheart, but he was toxic as hell, so that didn't work out either. But yeah, so when he came around and he was love bombing the hell out of me. After 2 days, he was like, "Oh, here's the keys to my house, so you can drop by whenever you want." And after 2 months, he was like, "Oh, why don't you move in with me? And if it doesn't work out, we will just put your things in storage, and we will find a place for you to stay." So I was like, "Oh my God, this guy is so serious about me." And my
Yeah.
mom was like, "Yeah, you need to settle down. You're not getting any younger." So I was like, okay, he's not really my type. I don't really find him that attractive. But I mean, he seems to like me, so maybe I should just stay off the whole, like, oh, I need a Prince Charming and he needs to look a
Yeah.
certain way. And I mean, yeah, if our physical relationship, like in Japanese, they would say yoru no seikatsu, your nightlife, so to speak, was rubbish. But I thought,
Oh.
oh, I'll be able to change him and he will become more adventurous and he will like what I have to offer. But no, that's not how that works.
No, it doesn't. I had to learn that too.
Yeah, so basically, if it starts here, it will end here, and if it ends here, it's gonna end where you can't
Yeah.
even see it anymore. But but yeah, so I was looking for security. I was looking for someone. I wanted the white picket fence, the house, the Labrador, the everything.
Fairy tale.
And he did provide that for me up to a certain point. And I mean, he did give me a lot. I mean, of course, I had to go out and get it, but because of the fact that I was in Japan, I learned a whole new language. I started my own business. I had my daughter while I was in Japan. She's an amazing person. So being with him did in the end provide me with a lot of things. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm even grateful for the fact that he cheated on me, because that was finally the catalyst for me to get out of that situation and to choose me and to decide, like, oh no, I still want a life of my own, and I don't want to be this person that just cooks and cleans and takes care of his kid, and then we don't talk to each other and we don't see each other, and my
Yeah.
life doesn't even matter beyond the fact that I'm taking care of everything. um so yeah, all of it, it's in the end, it's all been good. So even the bad has been good. So it's
Good.
been a blessing, and also taught me, like, I don't really need that. I have my own house, I have my own money, I have my own company. You don't need to impress me in that way, which also leads to a lot of difficulties in dating because a lot of guys are like, oh, I don't really have anything to offer her. She already has everything, so maybe I should just go away.
Which sucks. Okay, so let's give some advice to the men who feel this way, because you're right. A lot of men feel this way when it comes to women who have like their own like tangible like things, money, and can buy and get tangible things. You're still dating, so there are things that you still want. Like, what are those things?
Intimacy mostly, and I'm not talking about sex, but I mean like someone you can just tell them about your day and how crap it's been, and then they're like, yeah, that sounds like it was really rough, and come here, let me give you a hug, let me make dinner for you, or let me pick you up from the airport, or
Yeah.
let's just cuddle and watch a movie together, or it seems like a great day, let's go out for a picnic, or even more romantic, like, oh, I'm going to you're going to pack your bag, and this is what you're going to put in your bag, and then I'm picking you up at 7, make sure your passport is ready, and just go for a weekend to Paris or something. Like, I mean, that would be the dream, but you never know.
It could happen. Now, let me ask you: Are you looking for a guy who's at the same financial status as you? I'm curious on that.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, I do need to um how should I say this? Kind of look up to someone. So, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that he earns the same as me, but there must be something like
Like maybe his
he,
aspirations, like
yeah,
ambitions, and that he's actually working and pursuing something. I think
yeah,
that's mine
or be
anyway.
able to do something. Like if he's really great with his hands and is great at DIY or can fix cars or whatever, or has some kind of hobby where I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. You're so
Right.
talented. That could also work, you know? I mean, he doesn't really need to earn the same kind of money as me, but yeah, just to be able to understand the lifestyle and not be envious of that. Like, I
That's
can,
another thing, yeah.
yeah, like, I have a lot of success in my business, and I've been nominated for the Luxury Travel Award again. Uh, so those kind of things. I'm publishing a book right now, so like I'll be on a dating app. I was just on a Bumble earlier, and there was a guy that had on his profile that he likes to write. So I was like, okay, so what do you like to write? And it's like, oh yeah, poetry and short stories. And are you a writer too? I'm like, yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm sort of publishing my book. And then you just get ghosted. It's
That's
like,
crazy. Oh my god, that's crazy. But
like
you know what? You know what though? Like I think like thinking of like your situation in the past that would have really hurt my feelings. Now it's like, okay, thank you for continuing to make room for the right person who's gonna appreciate what I'm doing and how and why I'm passionate about what I do. Because if I know for me in my situation, like when I was on the dating apps, I would talk about what I did for a living. I'm in human resources for my day job, and then I have my business on the side, and I would talk about these things, and people will tell you, well, you need to dim that down. And it's like, I know for me, I don't put it out there in a way where I'm trying to like top somebody. I'm just
no,
sincerely, this is what I do. This is what I'm
yeah,
passionate about. Yeah. And it's like, you shouldn't do that. But it's like now in my mindset, instead of listening to that noise, it's really, I continue to put myself out there so the right people can come to me. And when they come, they stay. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Yeah, I'm not dimming nothing down anymore because I know I
No, but
don't.
I mean, just imagine. Okay, so you're dimming it down. You're not. You're like, oh yeah, I'm just doing this little thing, this little podcast. It's no big deal, and then it works out. He likes you. You start dating, and then suddenly he finds out about the podcast, and then he's like, oh, but you never told me about this, and then he's out the door anyway. So what does it even matter? If he's
Right.
not there to stay, he's not going to stay.
That's it. And I think, and I think that's a big misconception in dating. Like people, especially for women, they'll tell women to kind of dim certain things down when they're at a certain level. But I think how do we not train, that's such a bad word. But how do we help guys like calm their egos down if we're not honest about what we do, and you let them know that it's not in a way of us trying to stroke our egos with yours. This is just what we do, and this is just what we like to do, and we're successful at it. Like,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's the thing. What I heard is that men are really struggling right now in finding their sense of self and their sense of worth,
yeah,
because before they were the providers and they were the rescuers and they were the one
yeah.
that brought home the bacon, and basically the wife, after she said yes, she didn't really
Do
have
anything.
any choice, and she just had to stay and take care of everything and everyone, and just forget about her own life, forget about what she wanted, and just, yeah, that's your reality right now, and there's no escaping that. And now we have all these choices and we have our own success, so these guys are like, yeah, what do I still have to offer? I'm not really interesting. I don't have a very interesting job. I don't have a very interesting life compared to her. Like,
I
I
think,
don't really see what she would see in me. So,
yeah,
first of all, I would say get some self confidence, because if
boy,
there's one thing that is like the biggest turn off you can have is to be insecure.
I agree.
Second of all, take some time, learn some things, read some books, get an
Right.
opinion on things other than just like working out and your job and that kind of thing. Like, work on yourself. And then once you really pursue what you want to do and what you want in life as a guy, then you will become more attractive to us women too. We're like, oh, he's like a really interesting guy. He has a
Right.
really interesting point of view and he knows a lot about XYZ, which I'm really into as well. Like, yeah.
And that's some great advice. I know that's what I was thinking too, because right now there's really no excuse with the internet, with the access of books, audio books. If you don't like to read, you can listen
Yeah,
to an
podcast.
author now. You can learn about different subjects. You can really become an expert in different areas. Like there's really no excuse now. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I think it's really just breaking out of what you're used to when it comes to men, and even some of the women who want to expand and grow. That this advice is for anybody, but yeah, specifically for the men who get upset or get turned off when a woman talks about what they've done, or even if they mention their degree or whatever the case may be, all of a sudden she's this masculine thing, and it's like that's I don't feel like that's masculine to
No.
talk about what you're doing. It's the conversations are insane, like across the board.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it doesn't have anything to do with gender, like masculine or feminine. Like,
Mm-mm.
no, that's just your drive, your passion, and you go for things. And I think there are dreamers and there are doers. There are people that are always like, oh yeah, if I had the money or if I had the time or if I had the opportunity, I would do XYZ. And then you're like, well, why wait for all of those things to come around? Why not just do it? Like, oh no, and there's people that are always thinking of reasons why they can't or they won't or now it's not a good time or whatever, always coming up with excuses. And there are people that are like, okay, I have this idea. What do I need to do to be able to,
To accomplish it.
yeah, like, what do I need?
Right. And
Instead of
even
the
if
other way around, like, no, no, but I can't because, and maybe, and
right.
tomorrow, and like, just fucking do it.
So I think that's for everybody across the board. I genuinely believe that. Even if it takes longer, just keep moving, just keep pushing.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And I mean, there's so many great things that you can just try out, and if it doesn't work, then okay, you've spent some time, you put some time and maybe a little bit of money you put into that idea, and then like, okay, this is not working. Then you can try something else.
Right. And nothing
And
is
at least
really
you have an interesting story to share with your friends. Like, oh yeah, I tried to start this business and it didn't work out. And like, okay, well, maybe
and
tomorrow you have
nothing
another idea.
and nothing's lost because you'll take what your experience from there and then you'll put it in your next one. And maybe that's the one that'll pop because of the losses that you had from this experience. It's all about learning. Life is all about learning. I think in dating, if you can enter it just with passion and vigor, like just about your life and what you're doing and what you care about,
Yeah,
you'll turn anybody on. I
yeah,
that's just yeah.
yeah, and just stay open to opportunity. Like if you see something come round, then just grab it with both hands, because you never know. Tomorrow you might not have the same chance anymore. Like if you tell a girl today, like I've had it so many times where I I'm supposed to go out on a date, and then the night before or that morning he will just say, "Oh, I'm not feeling well, blah blah blah," and then you never hear from them again. And then after like 2 3 months, they pop into your messages again, like, "Hey, I, no, just no."
Don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you had your chance.
That's it. Don't yeah. I learned my lesson from that too. Don't do it.
No, exactly.
I have a story behind that, but I'm not going to just don't do it.
Yeah, that you'll be bored or horny or both,
That's
and
it.
you don't want to go there.
Right. That's it. Okay. So this last segment of my podcast where I ask 4 to 5 fire rapid questions from my card deck. Um. So this first one, I already know the answer to that. I mean, what's one thing your ex has taught you? I know you gave us a couple lessons. Do you have
Yeah.
any others?
So, yeah, my ex has taught me a lot. Like, don't go for love bombing. If
Right.
someone comes on really strong at the beginning, then be suspicious, because no one will tell you that they love you after 2 dates. That's not normal.
Okay.
So yeah, and if he's like, "Oh, I will come to your house, I'll bring you food, and I will do this for you and do that," if it's inappropriate for him to be that nice, then there's probably going to be a catch. So just
Mm.
say no, even if the offer is nice, and just build up to that. Like, what's wrong with waiting a month or 2 months? He can do that later on. He doesn't have to come off that strong. And that's where I'm usually like, "Oh, he loves me."
Got you. Okay. That was great advice.
Yeah.
What's the stupidest thing you've done to impress someone?
Oh my God. I've done so many stupid things. Um, yeah, I mean, the stupidest thing. Okay, there was this guy, and he's like really smart, and he has his own Bitcoin company, so
Oh.
he's like loaded, and he's cute, and he was like, "Oh my God, this guy is so nice." And then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I have this kind of friend in London that I occasionally see." And I'm like, "Okay, what kind of friend?" "Oh, nothing. We occasionally see each other and kind of like have sex, and like, how it goes." I'm like, "Nah, know how it goes?" Like, "Oh yeah, you know how it goes." I'm like, no." Like, "Oh, come on, she's just a friend. It's no big deal, right?" Like, I don't know. And then he was like, "Oh, if you would meet her, then it
Oh
would
wow.
all be fine." And then I was like, "I don't want to do this, but this is like a really nice guy, and maybe I'll like her. I don't know." I could just give it a try, no? And then I did it. I was like, I met this girl, and I was like, ah! And it was the most awkward thing I've ever done in my life.
Oh my god! It was it awkward? Okay, tell me a little bit about the meeting. I was just curious, like, was it awkward because you're looking for somebody to well, one-on-one relationship. You're not looking
Yeah,
for yeah. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh, she's in London anyway. I don't have to see her. It's fine. And I'm like, I can do this. And yeah, and they had all these inside jokes and we're talking about all these people that I didn't know. And I was just sitting there like an idiot, like, oh, yeah, that sounds nice. And meanwhile, I was like, oh, I wish the ground would open up below me and I could just crawl into this hole and never come out. I'm like, why did I say yes to this?
Oh my
The
god!
worst decision ever.
Oh my! I just wonder, like, unless a man is okay, he wants different women. If you got somebody you got inside jokes with and you're cool with, like, why do you want to go outside of that? I just
Yeah, he said like, oh yeah, I told this girl that because he lives in Amsterdam
mhm.
and he occasionally goes to London, so
So
he
she
just sees
okay.
her once in a while, so not that often. So he told her, I want a girlfriend in Amsterdam. I'm just kind of keeping you on the side. Uh, and then I was supposed to be the girlfriend that was going to be okay with that, and I was like, no, this is not this whole ethical non-monogamy
It's
thing.
not
Nah,
for
not
you.
my jazz. I'm sorry. I'm not.
I
No,
feel you.
just
I feel
no.
you. I feel you. Okay, let me ask you this. What percentage of your happiness do you feel your partner should be responsible for in a relationship?
Um, 0 and 100.
Okay. Explain that.
So, I feel that you should be intrinsically happy. So you shouldn't look for your partner to make you happy. So if you're not already happy, then that partner is not going to bring it. Because if you're empty, they're not going to fill you up. That's not how that works. So 0 in that regard. So you
Okay.
need to get it from yourself and your own environment and your own friends and your own work and business, whatever you're doing. Um, but on the other hand, it has to be 100 because he does need to match your energy. Like, um, you do need to be able to do things together, have fun together, and he needs to have the emotional maturity to kind of gauge the situation and see where you're at. Like, oh, you're very happy and bubbly, so I can be happy and bubbly. Or, oh, you're feeling sad or you're anxious or whatever, and just match that energy and be like, okay, it seems like you need some space right now, so let me just give that to you. Or you need a hug or you need to talk or whatever. And vice versa, of course. You need
Yeah.
to give that to him as well. But yeah, you cannot give anything if you're empty. So
That's
you
true.
first have to have that happiness and have that fulfillment and have that love. And then you can give it to someone else. And for him as well, if he's running on empty and if he doesn't have it, then he's not going to give it to you either. He's just going to drain you and
Yeah. Oh,
take. And you're going to be figuring out like, why is this not working, and why is this like, yeah, no, that doesn't.
right. I love how you broke that down, 0 and then 100. Like, I've never heard of it explained that way, but I agree with that. And then my last question, what was it like growing up as the youngest, oldest, or middle or only child?
Yeah, my situation is kind of different from most people. um I was adopted as a baby.
Mm.
So my grandparents put me in an orphanage when I was born because they didn't want to take care of me and they didn't feel my mom was able to take care of me. and they sure as heck didn't want my dad's family taking care of me, so they
Put
put
you in
me in
an
an
orphanage?
orphanage. And then my adoptive mom was a cleaning lady at someone's house, a woman that was doing a PhD on something to do with kids.
Okay.
So my adoptive mom was complaining like, "Oh, I always wanted a girl, and I have three boys, and I had a hysterectomy, so I'm never gonna have that experience." Blah blah blah. And then her boss was like, "Oh, girl, I can hook you up. Come with me." So they went to the orphanage, and it was like, "Okay, so here's the room. Here's like 15 babies. Which one do you like? Just that one,
Wow.
that one over there? Yeah,
Right.
okay, that's fine. Let's wrap her up. You already have three kids. They're not dead yet. So yeah, it seems like you can keep kids alive. So why not? Just take her.
Oh wow. Okay.
We'll drop by once or twice to see if she's still alive. If that is the case, then kudos."
Oh wow.
So yeah, my brothers, the ones that I grew up with, the youngest was 10 years older, the next one 11 years older, and my eldest was 14 years older than me.
Wow.
And when the day I was supposed to come, that was a week before my youngest brother's 10th birthday. And my mom said, if she's coming, then everyone is going to focus on her and they will forget about you. So it will basically ruin your birthday. But also, everyone wants her to come. So, of course, you can say no. But yeah, we want her to come. So, say yes.
Oh wow.
So he was pressured into having me come on his 10th birthday or right before. So what she said happened. Like, no one looked at him at all. No one was interested in him at
Oh
all.
wow.
They were all like, "Oh, look at this shiny little baby." Ah. And my brother hated me after that and was like, "You expletive.
Oh
You
wow.
ruined my life, so let me now ruin yours." So yeah, that was a very nice upbringing.
Oh wow. So that was your upbringing. Do you think that molded your thought process of kind of men in a way? Like why you were okay with not okay, but what like you say your husband, like he came in just really hard, really fast. Like, do you think that influenced your upbringing influenced your decision on, okay, this guy really loves me, let me move forward, even along with like what you said, your mom saying he seems great.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, my mom was a classic narcissist, and my dad was just pushing me away always because he didn't want to make my mom jealous by giving me attention and not
Wow.
her. So he was never around. And she was like, after I turned 6, she was like, "Oh, you don't fit on my lap anymore. So I don't really, not that interested anymore." And she would be like, later when I was an adult, "Oh, you're not coming this weekend. You're just doing it to ruin my life. You
Oh
want
my
me dead."
goodness.
So she would always be very histrionic. And yeah, so the love bombing and the narcissism that just played in right into my experience. And then the hot and cold, the neglecting, and the always criticizing me, always like, "Oh, but you're the problem," always gaslighting me. Like, yeah, that makes total sense. That's what I've been hearing my entire life. So bring it
Wow.
on. Tell me what I've done wrong and how to improve.
That's so heavy. Wow. So for you to get out of your marriage now and actually just be living your life for you, going out on dates and really making sure the person is the right person, that's a big accomplishment considering what you have been through in your life. Kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been
Wow.
a hard road, and there were a lot of lessons that I needed to learn over and over again, but I'm still here. I made it. So, and right now I'm like, whatever happens, if I meet someone nice, then that's great. And if I don't meet them, Well, I have a great life, so I'm
That's dope.
fine either way. So yeah, it would be nice to have someone there, and if not, then okay.
That's dope. See, so you win either way. So that's dope that you have that perspective. Okay, so let me ask you this. Where can the audience find you?
So on all social media platforms, you can find me under Tokyo Tours, and that's Tokyo spelled the Dutch way, so Tokio, not with a Y, and then Tours, Tours. And I have my website, www.tokyotours.nl or .com. And I'm on Google Maps. I have over 500 five-star reviews with Tokyo Tours. And of course, I have the new business, Elite Travel Experiences, and my personal Instagram, that's Nicki, Nicki underscore Amsterdam. You can find me there too. So I post a lot about myself and about my life and about my struggles. So if that's something you're interested in, then please follow me.
That is dope. Okay, all of those links will be in the show notes. Nikki, I want to thank you so much for your time, sharing your stories, your energy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. This was fun.
No, most definitely. I want to thank the viewers and the listeners. And until next time.